beautiful YouTubers. My name is Thor, and I'm going to give you advice today.
Thor. Lay down. Hey beautiful YouTubers, so today's video is going to be all about deployment, and Thor wanted to be in the video. I could not get him out, so Thor will be in the video. Say hi. Ooh, hi. Okay, so anyways, this video is going to be in about 3 or 4 different parts. I'm going to talk about what to do before deployment, and tips and tricks for during deployment, and advice, and then after deployment. And then also I interviewed one of my friends that has kids. She has 5 kids because I don't have kids, so I wanted to get as much information as I could for you, so that way, you know, I can give the best advice that I can offer. So I want to start off by saying that I am really sorry that your significant other is being deployed or is already deployed. If your significant other is already deployed, then the first part of this video you can just fast forward through because you've probably already been through all this. So this video is probably not going to be very entertaining because I need to give you a lot of information, and I can't really be funny about the subject because deployment is more of a serious topic. So, getting right into the information before deployment. So, you're going to want to go to the legal office, and they're going to tell you to basically set up power of attorney. So your husband is going to sign all rights basically to you, to sign his name, sign a lease, do whatever you need to do while he's gone. So basically you act as him while he's gone. So this is very important. Now the legal office is also probably going to ask your husband to get a will. I cried a whole lot. This is a very awkward, weird, morbid conversation to have. So be prepared to be in a very awkward spot talking about his will, and they're probably going to ask you to make a will as well. So that's something to not look forward to and take care of. Now, the second thing I would definitely say is go to all FRG. I don't even want to say it. Go to all FRG meetings up to the point before your husband deploys, because you want to kind of get to know the FRG leader. She's the one that's going to be contacting you and letting you know everything that basically is important while your husband's gone. These meetings are basically, they're going to have different people come in, have PowerPoints, there's going to be phone numbers, all kinds of information that you need to know, especially if it's your first time having your significant other deployed. So go to the meetings, put your name on the list, put on there, call me. Don't put do not call, because then you're just going to be out of the loop and you're going to be pissed off. So now, third thing. So after you do all that, make sure that your husband and you have your finances straight. If he pays some of the bills and you need to take that over so that way you can take care of all of that, you do not want him worrying about bills or anything stupid, small, little, or whatever when he's gone. So, you know, if there's a car payment, whatever, get that taken care of before he goes. So, up to the point where he's leaving. Now, number 4. So, basically, the day that he leaves is going to probably be the most emotional day for you, period. Take the day off. Make sure that the day that he's leaving, you take off, because you're going to be an emotional wreck. You're going to be crying. You're probably going to be sick. You're going to want to eat. You're not going to want to eat. It's just going to be an emotional day. Now, the day that he leaves, what's going to happen is you're going to be able to hang out with him for a few hours, and the buses are going to come. Now, when the buses come, your heart is going to sink. It's going to be the worst feeling you've ever felt in your entire life, and you're going to cry, and it's going to be an emotional wreck. So the buses are going to come and take them away. Now, they're going to go to another area, and they'll have their phones for a few hours. And if your husband or spouse has good service or whatever, they may be able to talk to you here and there, a text message. It'll kind of buffer it a little bit from the transition of, you know, them leaving and, you know, you being an emotional wreck. Now, I sat in my car for almost an hour just crying, and I could not get myself to calm down to drive. So, you know, if you have a friend that can drive you, you know, or pick you up, that might work, because I sat there for quite a while. So I found out that my husband was deploying on Valentine's Day. It was horrible, and he deployed the day before my birthday. So as I can tell you from personal experience, it's not easy, and people are gonna tell you, oh well, it's gonna go by fast, and oh, don't worry, and you know, he'll be home before you know it. It's gonna really piss you off to the max. You're gonna get upset, you're gonna be emotional. Just know that they can't understand what you're going through because they've never been through it themselves. So don't be too mad at them because they don't understand, and unless, you know, you've been through it, you can't possibly know what it feels like. So definitely, like I said, take the day off. You know, the day before he leaves, prepare yourself. You're gonna be probably in front of the TV, munching, crying, or whatever. My husband got me a puppy before he left so that I wouldn't be alone. We had only been at Fort Campbell for 2 months maybe, and then he left. So I didn't know anybody, I had no friends, I had no family. So definitely try to reach out to the other wives that your husbands are deploying with, and try to have like kind of a safety net so you know at least one person, because you're in a new place and it can be very scary, and you know, you want somebody at least that you know that can kind of help you go through this, because trust me, going through it alone is even 10 times worse. My advice to you for during a deployment. So first things first, my experience may be different because of where my husband was. He was in Afghanistan, and what his job was. Your husband may be going somewhere different, and his job may be different, so his options of communication may be different than how my husband's was. I got to Skype with my husband about every other day. Sometimes I didn't hear from him for a week, maybe 2 weeks. It really depends on what's going on. I would say it's very important that you and your husband or significant other have a very good trust bond between each other, because there may be periods of time where you don't hear from him, and you're gonna have to just be okay with that and trust him and feel that, okay, he's safe, everything's going okay. Do not blow up your FRG leader trying to find out why you haven't heard from your husband in 24 hours or a week or 2 weeks. If something were to happen, you'd be the first person to know. She would let you know. Do not call the Red Cross trying to come up with something that is wrong with you or whatever, just trying to get in contact with your husband, because it's going to make you and your husband look very, very bad. So be okay with knowing deployments are rough. You're gonna go periods of time not talking to your husband, and you're just gonna have to go on with day-to-day life and keep him in your thoughts, and know that as soon as he can, he will contact you. So definitely have Skype on your phone. You're gonna be attached to your phone 24/7. I probably wouldn't even go anywhere that had bad service because my husband may be calling me. So definitely know that communication is gonna be rough. Care packages are number one. I would say send a care package any chance that you can. If you are kind of low on funds, go to the Dollar Tree and get him some stuff from the Dollar Tree. He's gonna look forward to that because there's gonna be hygiene products, you know, magazines or whatever. I'm definitely doing a video on just care packages, so stay tuned for that. And know that, you know, care packages kind of give you something to do. You can decorate them and everything, so there's definitely that. Now, next advice for when your husband's deployed is stay busy, 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 busy. Now, people are not going to understand what you're going through. They're not going to understand how you're feeling, and you're going to be really frustrated. So I worked 3 jobs. I kept myself busy, and I really just tried my hardest to immerse myself in other activities so that way I wasn't just sitting there depressed and sad. My husband got me a puppy right before he left, so I had Thor to kind of be my cuddle buddy and be there for me. So it's definitely, you know, having a friend or an animal or something to kind of keep you company is a very good thing. So when your husband comes home from deployment, there's going to be a big adjustment period. So definitely give him some time. You're going to be so excited to see him, make, you know, welcome home signs and all that stuff. But just know that it's going to take him a while to adjust to everything. My husband spent 3 days sleeping. We ate a lot of junk food and he slept. So it's gonna take them a while to kind of get used to being in public places, being in a car, driving a car. I think my husband wasn't able to drive like a week or something after he got back. There's a certain amount of time where they wanted him not to drive. So give your husband a little bit of space and patience, because depending on what they went through, and they're so in the mindset of work that it's going to take them transition time to get back to normal life. So just give them time. I know you're excited and you've been waiting and everything, but there's two sides to every story, and just make sure that you understand him and give him that time that he needs. A lot of wives kind of like, oh, you're not paying me any attention, I've been waiting so long. You have to understand that depending on what your husband went through, you know, it's going to take a minute for them to register from being in a certain mindset that they had to be in to being in the home life. They love you, they understand that, you know, you waited for them, but it takes them time. So be very patient with your significant other. Before they come home, the date that they give you, like, okay, your husband should be home around this day, that date is gonna change a lot. So don't get your hopes up until maybe a couple days before, but even then, you kind of have to know that things can change. Flights can change, weather can change. Just, you have to be very flexible. So definitely think about that. For this part of the video, I'm going to be talking about if you have kids and things that may help you out. I interviewed my friend Wanda, so I'm going to be on my phone looking through the messages to kind of get the information. So there is a group called EFMP. It's Exceptional Family Member Plan, and basically I guess from what she told me, they have something called Super Saturdays, so that before your husband deploys, Saturdays you can drop your kids off and you guys can have some alone time. Your FRG leader should have all this information to give to you, so that way you can kind of set everything up. If you're going to be working when your spouse is deployed, you want to make sure that you have daycare taken care of, you know, depending on what your situation is, a family care plan, or whatever that you would need to do. From what she told me, I would take your kids out of school that day. You can get basically a letter and your kids will be excused. She has 5 kids, so she had all different ages, and so this is the best information I can give to you. Basically, some of her kids got very sick or crying or upset. If you're wondering how to kind of tell your kids or kid that, you know, daddy is deploying and how to explain it, she basically told me that she was very honest with her children, saying that, you know, daddy had to go to work, is fighting for our country, you know, basically explaining it. You know what your kid can handle as far as like a mental capacity, you know, of how in depth you want to go with telling your kid or kids what exactly is going on. She was saying that the day that, you know, your husband leaves, she just got a bunch of takeout, some movies to kind of help distract them, and, you know, be prepared to, you know, tell them, you know, daddy's gonna Skype and call as much as he can, make care packages together, make cards, use, you know, like Christmas or any holidays to kind of be like monuments to decorate and do fun things, you know. if you're a mother and you know you're gonna have all the stress on your shoulders, you're probably gonna be the bad guy in a lot of situations because your husband's not gonna be there. He's gonna, anytime he talks to them, he's gonna want it to be a happy conversation. So you're gonna have to deal with a lot of that stress and deal with a lot of, you know, maybe the hate that you probably don't deserve, and you know, just something that it's gonna take some time for your kids to definitely adjust. You definitely want to be prepared. Your husband might talk to your kids like soldiers. This is not every person, but you know, they're so in that mindset, especially if they're, you know, someone in power that's, you know, usually telling people to do things or trying to take care of things. They want order. So you have to give your husband some slack when he's, you know, getting back to talking with the kids and, you know, getting in the mind frame of basically, you know, separating work and home. Starting a countdown with your kids can be a really fun way to basically visually have them see, you know, there's, like I said, lots of cute things on Pinterest you can do. Talking to your significant other on the phone, them hearing his voice is going to be, you know, very important. They have those little cute dolls, like teddy bears, that have, you can put the picture of your husband or whatever in the teddy bear in a little army uniform or whatever branch that you're in. So yeah, if you want me to do more of a segment for if you have kids, I can actually do like a full-on interview. I can interview some kids that their parents went through a deployment. If that's something you'd be interested in, let me know. So I really hope that this video helps you in some kind of way as far as information goes, and I'll be doing plenty more videos on this subject and, like I said, care packages and stuff, so just stay tuned. This is just the first to kind of feel out if you would like more information. So until next time, thank you so much for watching this video. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe. So I will see you later.